to get on my goddamn nerves at this point. So we're gonna start with the DGG recruitment because it's like, might as well finish up this chapter real quick for everybody. Here's the funny thing. I caught a quote of what DGG had said about why he chose Tennessee over Ohio State. And I'm like, this kind of makes Ohio State glad that they decided to skip on you, that you chose Tennessee, because the quote he said was, at Ohio State, it feels more like a chore when it comes to football. And I'm like, buddy, it's Ohio State. What you expect? And in the NFL, it's gonna be a chore. What do you expect exactly? Seriously, no, seriously. What do you people expect? Do y'all actually expect this to be fun? I mean, it's gonna be fun. Don't get it twisted. Like at Ohio State, it's fun. In the NFL, it can be fun, but it's a business now. So now you have to be on your absolute A game all the time. You can't just assume that you're just gonna be all right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like whether people like it or not, whether people want to admit it or not. So him saying that basically just telling me, brother, you do not want to work for being at Ohio. You really don't want to work for your spot. You just want to hand it to you, is what that's telling me. James, what does that tell you, that quote?
That tells me you're not ready to work.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was in high school and I was working, I was like, I want to make it to the league and I need to go to college. And then I was like, oh, I can't go to Duke. I can't go to North Carolina because I'm gonna work hard. And necessarily speaking, it's not a shot at work ethic. It kind of is, but it's also when you're going to a school that prides themselves in perfection. When you're going to a school that prides themselves in being the best at what they can possibly do. Ohio State has always been a program that has put themselves high. Tennessee is a program that is building themselves or trying to be one of those prestigious schools, but also in their minds, they believe that they're one player away or one recruitment away or one moment away from being the best team in the conference.
They're not.
I think this shows first, any school you go to, it can become a chore, especially if you want them to win. And if you push guys the right way, it's going to feel like it's. I never want to go to a program where you're going to make me feel like. I never want to play it if you feel like you waking up at 6 a.m., you waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning to work out, to do, to wait, to strength condition. Then we got practice that starts at 8. Then you got to go to. That should never feel like a chore to you. That should feel like it's something you always wanted to do. If I ever had the chance of being a coach, I would hope I would have guys that would be like, "Hey, coach, we got a 6 a.m. practice, right?" Like, yeah. Hey, coach, we got a 10 p.m. practice after we get done with class. I'm like, yeah. And that's not a chore. That's preparing you for Saturday. That's preparing all of these NFL scout recruits of when you do get to the combine in Indianapolis, and they say, "Hey, he was one of those guys that wanted to be up every single morning, that wanted to strive, that wanted to show himself, that wanted to show his expertise, but also that wanted to win." So, hey, but what does this show? This shows that Tennessee is the scapegoat team in the SEC. Hey, I don't want to go to a big time team in Ohio State. I'll just go to Tennessee and show myself a little bit, see what happens, see what I can do. Let's see what win or lose. Who cares? You're gonna pay me NIL money. I might go to the league, might not. Who knows? But hey, at least you guys got a star guy that you guys can put on every single poster in Tennessee and say, hey, we got him. We got Jackson. We got our guy. We got the guy we wanted.
That's the unfortunate part about this, and that is that is the thing that's so unfortunate about DGG, because I'm like, dude, you made me think, and I think you made Ohio State fans think, as well as the Buckeye program, because what made them feel like they could get this recruitment is DGG presenting himself as the kind of kid who won about that. So there's two things about DGG that has to come into question. Either you contradicted yourself, or you're a liar, or you're possibly both. Those are the three things I can think of. Because you're either one of the two or you're both. Because either you lied to the Ohio State program, but also contradicted yourself because you may say, I don't want to carry 30 balls a game, but now you have to do that at Tennessee because you have to think about this. You got to think about this. For Tennessee, it's this simple. If you're paying DGG all this money, you give him all these perks, what does that say about your running back room, buddy? Like, how bad is your running back room that you need to do this for one guy? Ask yourself that question, people. How bad is your running back room? How bad is Tennessee's? Because, look, I seen their running back room last year. It wasn't great, but I'm like, if you're super good at development like you're supposed to be, it shouldn't be a problem. Instead, what we're seeing here is y'all might not be as great as development as y'all think y'all is. Because look, y'all can talk all that. For Tennessee fans, look, enjoy the kind of money that you're spending on this kid. Because here's the reality. If he doesn't pan out, what did you waste that money on? Because think about it. What running back? Because that 3-star y'all were in on, he going to Arkansas. He ain't playing behind no freaking David Greenville or George, especially with the perks his family getting. What makes you think he going to go there? He going to Arkansas, people.
Yeah.
He going. like you basically just missed out on a running back right there. And now you have no backup plan for if DGG don't work out. Because what it tells me is this kid didn't want to work. You're basically telling him it's like Bryce Underwood all over again.
Let's not. Can we not talk about the Bryce Underwood story?
No. This is the perfect example. I'm not gonna crap on this kid today. I'm not crapping. But I'm telling you because think about it. Bryce doesn't have to work hard because Michigan is paying him $12 to $15 million a year. Why would I have Nico when y'all paying him that $8 million? Like, you guys have no quarterback. As a matter of fact, I've even seen it with people who were at Tennessee who know that that quarterback situation isn't good right now. It isn't. Like, Faison Brandon looks like an okay quarterback, but he's barely beating out George McIntyre, who looks like he don't even know what he's doing. Seriously, like, what's your quarterback situation looking like? At least for Ohio State, you got what? Julian Sayin, Tavian St. Clair, that other kid that they got from Ohio who reminds me a lot of CJ Stroud in a sense. He's a really good freaking quarterback. Then Brady Edmonds. And it's like you possibly have another quarterback coming in, Christopher, I forget the kid's last name, but like people know who I'm talking about, the quarterback in the 2028 class. He looked like he could be coming to Ohio State. So you got like future quarterbacks, and look, Ryan Day is a quarterback guru, people. That man know how to develop a quarterback. So you pretty much have a quarterback future set for Ohio State. What does Tennessee's look like? It don't look good. So DGG, either you want to carry the ball 30 times a game, or you want to be on a winning team where you actually have tread on your tires. Because here's the funny thing. If you carry the ball 30 times a game for the next 3 years, you got no tread left on your tires, and you won't get drafted very high, and you won't really do anything in the NFL. So what does that say about Tennessee? They ain't great at development. If they were, they wouldn't have to pay their players this much money, or they wouldn't have to pay high schoolers this much. It's just a simple fact, people, whether you know it or not.
Okay. I first want to say, what happened to the grind hard high school kids that used to come out of high school, ready to work, ready to strive? You know, what happened to those guys? I mean, I understand, I get it. You know, you're ranked high.
There's still some there.
There's
like
still
Chris Henry
some
Jr. Like Chris Henry Jr., he was one of them. Jeremiah Smith is another one.
And that's what I would say. It's still some. There's still some grind hard kids that will show that, hey, I'm a top recruit for a reason. But I don't understand when we say, okay, you guys, you're a top ranked guy. And now it comes with this territory of, okay, so where's the NIL money to match that? Where's this to match that? It's like, that doesn't matter. It never mattered. I don't remember when it should have mattered. You should pick a school because first, you want to go here. You want to win here. The whole point of the idea of playing is to win. When did it stop becoming, oh, now I want to be a Showtime talent show where I just want to get my little yards or show my highlight reels just so NFL teams can see that I'm a good player. What where did we stop striving to be great players and to win games at the same time? Like this isn't we're not in the NFL or in the NBA. This isn't a tank so we can get a first round draft pick so we can get good next year, make Super Bowl. This is not that. We don't that's the fun part about college. We don't need to tank to try to get a pick or something. We can try to win. We can go out and try our best with no strings attached, with nothing attached to it. We could just go out and try to crazy enough and have fun and try to win. What
Hmm.
happened to that part of the game, man? Like now everybody got agents. Now I gotta my agent talk to my agent first before I can put on pads and put on my cleats. Like no, you do that when you get in the NFL with those GMs and all those other people. You save that for them. But
Hmm.
this is football time. This is when you should want to play. This is when you should want to play with no strings attached and just have fun.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you, Tyler and Troy. Thank you guys for coming to the show and seeing you guys and telling me about the quarterbacks. It was very. I'm already pronouncing his name so bad. Fahey and Vargas.
Yeah.
Both of them are the two that Ohio State has moving forward. And this is something I've been talking about before. Because, like I said, with Tennessee, I'm struggling to know what the quarterback future is going to look like. Because, like I said, if Faison Brandon was the special quarterback, I don't think you would hear people talking about him like as if he doesn't know what he's doing, or that he looks like he looks no better than George McIntyre, who don't know what he's doing, who looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. And from what I've seen of him in the spring game, him and Faison, I'm like, yeah, Tennessee's quarterback future is so bleak. I'm like I said, I don't trust you, Josh Heupel, with your ability to develop quarterbacks. You suck at this. You are worse than freaking Lincoln Riley. And what the heck does this tell you? At least, like I said, Lincoln Riley is terrible at developing NFL quarterbacks. But at least the man can develop college quarterbacks to be ready to play for his football team. And no matter how bad his defenses are, I'm like, offense is what's gonna make their defense look good. I'm sorry. That's just how bad of a future you have at all Tennessee right now. And I don't know how much longer Josh Heupel gonna be there. I don't. I don't.
I agree with you on I don't know what Tennessee's future is. And that's why Tennessee, I guess, is banking on hoping that GG Jackson can be like this top guy for them. And hopefully, maybe he can put Tennessee in a good place where they can get a quarterback to want to come there next year, if he's there or not, to at least hype up the idea of getting some guy to be like, oh yeah, I want to go to Tennessee. I like their program. I don't know, or sell the cheerleaders, do something, sell the band. At this point, be like, hey, we got something for you. I don't know. I, I think this year falls on a lot of teams. I think Ohio State has something to prove. Of course, they always do. I think
Yeah.
Tennessee has added themselves to the mix. Now they have something they have to prove. Texas Tech, they are another team that has something they have to prove this year. So it's a lot of teams that have this now chip on their shoulder. And now Tennessee has put themselves in a more position because now they have to prove we're an adequate program. We can have an over 500 record. And maybe you guys were banking on us at the wrong time. I don't know. Right now, Tennessee still looks at that team that's still trying to ramp up the engine, and they haven't went yet, and we're still waiting for them to go.
Yeah. I mean, Tyler here is right though. Hooker is the only one you've really seen. I mean, him and Nico are actually the two that really made him look good at that. But you see how badly Tennessee screwed that up. So it's like you screw up with Nico, Hooker gets hurt, so your season's pretty much squandered at that point.
Yeah,
And then it's like, okay, who's your other quarterback? Because like I said, at least for Ryan Day, and as much as us Ohio State fans be getting on him about trying to play the younger quarterbacks to give them more of a to get them more ready, to get them more reps, so that way when it's time for them to come in, they can be ready. At least, like I said, Ryan Day, I confidently believe our backup is going to be better than any quarterback at Tennessee. Like, even though we all can, have our ifs, like we don't know how good he could play. I'll tell you this: I'd rather have a quarterback from under Ryan Day who would back up than a starting quarterback from under Josh Heupel. And the only two good ones he had, they both like one got injured and one left.
I can't fight those odds. Sadly enough, I can't fight those odds. I agree.
You can't. You can't. That's just what makes it impossible.
if if you really sat there and kind of um yeah, you lose, okay, in Tennessee's, it, if we go back to last year, this is the first year without Nico. Nico goes to UCLA, so now it's kind of like a make or break. Let's see what we can do without Nico. We really need him in their minds. He left, cool. We got somebody else. He goes down. What's next? Now, Tennessee going into this season, it's still a lot of question marks that still have to be determined. Running back has been answered. Your running back problem has been answered. But now it comes down to,
Or
does
so
it,
we believe.
or so we believe. But now, does this mean that we're turning from a passing game Tennessee to a running game Tennessee? And if we are, can you guys handle a running game Tennessee team? Can we do a running game, or can we add a play action? Can we make some trickery stuff happen? I don't know. Or are we just gonna have to play solid base football? Mix things up. Can we even do that? We don't know what we can do. We like this is where I feel like Tennessee's question marks come because we don't know where they're good at and where they're struggling at. Because right now we can see everything as a whole. Because there's so many questions that have still not been answered. Defensively, can you hold teams to get your running back on the field if that's what you're gonna do? Because now it comes to if he can't get hot, if he can't get you the yards that you need, how can we make it to where he can? Can we add him into the passing game out the backfield? What can we do? I remember watching Las Vegas a couple of years when Derek Carr and it was Darren Walker, and it was just that show the whole way through of just them. It was just a bunch of tight end action. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't work. But the times it didn't work was because teams realized this was your only target. Your only option was this. So for Tennessee, do you have options? Or are you just banking on this being the guy? Like I said, we're going to see the whole rollout. They're going to put him on every single park bench, bus stop. He's going to have the whole thing. It's going to be his show in Tennessee. But it can't just be his show. It cannot just be him to do everything to make you guys look good. You guys got to make your own selves look good too. So from a coaching staff standpoint, where does that work? How does he fill in? We're gonna find out. But it's too many questions. It's too many questions. It's not enough depth. It's not enough idea. It's just a bunch of, well, we can try this, we can do this, we can make this happen, and you want this to happen. And I'm like, okay. Go, I mean, try it. I guess this is all the try thing. This is a trial and error. And we're past trial and error. The season starts soon. Basically, first, DGG is kind of behind. Training camp's been started, and he hasn't been with anybody watching anything. This is going to be his first time hitting the film with Tennessee to learn any of their stuff. So this is
That's the unfortunate part.
I don't know. It's
I mean, Tyler probably says it better than anybody. Under Heupel, they have a losing record on the road when it's not on Knoxville, and even when they are in Knoxville, they still lose a lot of games, regardless.
like I said, a lot of the teams they lost against last year were ranked opponents, and some of them weren't even highly ranked opponents. So that means that there's something that There's still an identity they're struggling with. I don't think he fits the. I don't know. I don't know if he changes the identity or if he makes the identity better. But I know that when Tennessee plays, there's gonna be a lot of eyes. Now, is it going to be for a good reason or a bad reason? We're going to find out as the season goes.
I would say it's mostly a bad reason. And like I said, if they think David Gabriel George would save them, he won't. He won't. I'm sorry, people. He won't save them because at the end of the day, you still gonna find yourself in a in precarious situation where it's like, I don't care how good you think your running back is, he still has to play the game. And guess what? You have to have weapons around him for people to actually take seriously. What do you have? Now in the SEC, I can tell you this: defenses aren't as good as what they once were, but you still get your butt kicked by them regardless. So
And
we're gonna
that's
have to see.
and that's why I say I don't. We got to figure out where Tennessee lies when it comes out after offense, because as of right now, we've only named one guy that we think can be a threat.
Only one, and the unfortunate part is, he's the guy that everybody gonna try to stop. He gonna be the guy that everybody trying to.
So now you have to. Now everybody else has to figure out what can they do. What are you good at? When they stop him, can we get you involved? And if we can get you involved, then the defense is going to have to try their best to keep the games close, keep the games in reach for us to even have a chance. And if they can't do that, then Tennessee is going to have a losing season again.
Mhm.
So this is when problems occur, when you have not solved problems that you could have been solved. After Nico left, that was a problem. Whether we want to see it as a problem or not, whether you want to see it as, well, he wants more NIL money, whatever. Him leaving is a problem because you have no one else that can back up what Nico was doing.
Oh yeah.
So that became a problem. You still have not really fixed that problem. You added a great running back, and that's great, but also he's still also unproven in some ways because we don't know what he can and cannot do under your offense. That's where the problem occurred. Can your offense withstand what you guys need from him?
Yeah, that's the problem. And I don't think, I honestly do not think they can. I'm not going to lie. I honestly think, now some people would say, and Tiger had brought this up before, that they did become, like, they were like a top 10 offense. And I'm like, well, that's because they had no choice but to throw the ball a ton because their defense sucked. And even then, they still struggled with offense. If you go back to the games, they still struggled. Their quarterback play wasn't great. The wide receiver play wasn't great. They just had to make a whole bunch of chunk of throws and stuff just for them to even have a chance to win these games because they didn't have a choice. Their defense was the complete and utter garbage, and it's still going to be that coming into now again. We talked about this when Ohio State had their worst defense. Jim Knowles helped stabilize it, but I don't think that's going to be the case with Tennessee because unlike Ohio State, you don't have NFL athletes. Like I'll tell you this, Ohio State actually has some NFL athletes
Yeah, they
that
do.
could actually help out with that. And that's even when, despite the fact they had the worst defense in their school's history, they still had a top tier. They still had NFL athletes that were able to help them win games in certain moments. It's just that these guys didn't have an identity on defense. The question is under Knowles, in your first year, you got to establish an identity with him, just as Ohio State did. They had to establish an identity for 3 years, and it took 3 years for that to happen. Again, ask Penn State how well that went for them. And let's be realistic, even though your defense wasn't great, it's still better than what Ohio State's defense was in 21. So ask yourself this question. Do you really think you're going to have a different choice? You're going to have to throw the ball a ton just to even keep yourselves in the game. You can't just hand it off to DGG. You really are going to have to just throw. You're going to throw the football a lot, is what I'm going to tell you. Like, you don't really have a choice. You don't, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah. Um that so see, here's where that problem comes. Cause now you gotta make DGG a dual threat as a passer, I mean as a catcher and as a runner.
Mm-hmm.
And now teams are going to catch on to that. Going to be like, well, I know you ain't going to hit your tight end. I know your best bet is probably going to try to hit DGG on some type of screenplay so I can blow that up. You're going to, like, you got to make it efficient for everybody to feel at least they can be involved in some way. Now, the way you do that as a coach is you throw some stuff in that maybe looks like running, like, I'm not saying you run the ball like every single possession because don't do that. That's not gonna make logical sense.
That won't help you at all.
That won't help you at all. And something tells
And
me,
you're not them. You're not the people up north. You're not them. You're not gonna be able to run the ball and think it's gonna work out for you. Because even I tell you that works better for them than y'all. And trust me,
and,
y'all not as physical as them. You're
and,
not.
and something tells me Tennessee's gonna try it.
And
But
watch how they get and watch how their line of scrimmage gets bullied like no tomorrow. Just watch. Their offensive, like I said, their D line gets bullied enough as it is. Their O line already gets bullied enough. I'm like, watch how their O line gets bullied.
and that's the I don't see Tennessee as a passing team. I don't see Tennessee as a passing team. I don't think they have good enough schemes where they can get guys open off great, at least efficient route running. I don't know. Now, I mean, you could probably get them off a blitz, maybe, if your
Probably.
quarterback has good awareness and can get the ball out quickly. But
Mm-hmm.
also, that's where bank. They're not gonna blitz every single time. You know, it's questions. It's questions.
It's so many questions.
It's so many questions and not.
But like I said, I'm like, look, I get it. If I'm the kid, I wouldn't take a lot of money too. But here's the funny thing: if you're really the best player, because what's funny is Kamon Spell, a former Ohio State, a current Ohio State fan, actually tweeted at Kamon Spells, "Hey, you should go to Georgia and tell them you want an extra $2.1 million a year with private jets and a massive Nike deal." And obviously, the Ohio State fan was completely joking, but Kamon Spell liked it as well, because I think in his mind he's thinking to himself, you all kept saying that this David Gabriel George guy is the best player, but if he was, why would he go to Ohio State? Why wouldn't he go to Ohio State? Why would he go to Tennessee and take the money and the private jets and all that? Because you don't need that. I took less money to go to Georgia. Jeremiah Smith, he took less money to go to Ohio State. I mean, look at all the massive money Miami and freaking Florida State were throwing at him during his
Yeah.
like,
That was a lot.
look at all the things that these teams are throwing. They still took less money because in their mind they believe, well, we're the best, so we ain't gotta go get this big money. We're gonna go to the NFL and get this long-term contract.
You want to go to a team that first can build you, and secondly, you see a chance of being in the playoffs. You what happened to the playoffs? I thought the entire point of going to a good school, of making it this far, was to have a chance to develop, work yourself, but also make a title run. Get to the playoffs. Now I understand that a lot of the draft picks that came out this year weren't all like national champions. Like aside from Mendoza, who's number one pick as a quarterback to the Las Vegas Raiders, but that's the point. You want to make the playoffs to get yourselves in that position of them seeing you as a winner, as someone that is one of the best players on their team, a group of stars.
And that's what these people don't understand, is what we try to tell Tennessee fans. It's like, guys, if he's losing, which y'all look, Alvin Kamara was already good coming from like a G5 school, so there's no doubt he was going to get drafted. He just came to y'all just to get on the bigger stage, even if he knew it wasn't going to be that big.
Yeah.
Because at the time, the SEC was actually pretty good. I'll say that now. They were actually still great, if we're being honest. But at the end of the day, and this is where people tend to confuse this, he only got drafted because of what he did against SEC defenses. And everybody knew Tennessee sucked. It's just that we knew he was good. But now, given where NIL is and how it's leveled out the playing field, which we'll get into a little later about the SEC and Saban's whining, but you have to understand the basics, which is, as Tyler said it, this right here is their passing scheme is garbage. If you actually look at it, Josh Heupel doesn't actually get receivers that are route runners who actually get open. It's all about speed for them, which is the problem again. Because I said this was a problem with Oregon for a long time, where like
Oh yeah.
you're getting speed guys, you're not getting route runners. Get route runners.
Oh yeah.
Get guys who run routes, develop them. That's why Ohio State's been so good at receiver for so long. That's why LSU, even though it's only been for patches, have had great receivers. It's why Bama had some good receivers for so long. It's why Miami used to have good receivers. They got route runners. They didn't just get speed guys. They were like, okay, if you got speed, can you run a route? That's the problem. Like, and that was Tennessee's wide receivers problems last year. It's the same 2024, same problem. Even when you guys go to the NFL, y'all think y'all the fastest guys? Every DB can match your speed.
Yeah. I don't know why everybody believes that I need a fast guy to run deep routes. I can't. Everybody doesn't go deep. I don't want to test a DB all the time. Give me something. Run a slant. Give me a curl. Come back to the ball. Give me something that works.
I mean, as Tyler says, some people just want to be losers, which a lot about that. But it's But at the same time, though, it's like don't sit here and tell me that you about winning. Don't sit here and tell me you don't want to carry the ball 30 times a game, because I think that's what really ticks Ohio State fans off, is the fact that that the uncle, especially because he was fangirling for Tennessee, and the uncle and DGG and the family, you all basically lied and or contradicted yourselves. Everything y'all said wasn't that important. It ended up being important in the end.
It did.
Like you basically just lied and or contradicted yourselves. So now everything DGG doesn't want to do so he could go to NFL, he gonna have to do now.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He gonna have to carry the ball. He gonna have to be a bell cow running back, because ain't no top tier running back going to come play with DGG, knowing that his family getting and they family not. Like for Tennessee, if you want some top tier players to come play for you, you gonna have to give them the perks that you're giving DGG. Because here's the reality.
But they did. They lost the top tier players.
That's the unfortunate part. You gonna have to give them perks. You lost Nico because you didn't give it.
And then they said, "Well, we got to get this running back a private jet, probably his own dorm, like a full dorm with nobody in there."
Like that's what you gonna have to do for everybody now. Every top tier guy you go after.
Yeah, because now recruiting has changed. He's like, you guys gave DG his own Hummer. I want a BMW now. Sign it up, Tennessee. I want to play. You want me to play for you? I want that. But it shouldn't have to come with that. That shouldn't have to be the case. But also, you guys have not made your school one of those schools where I'm just openly want to recruit myself to it and be like, hey, I want to go play for Tennessee. Said no one in a 50-mile radius. But maybe there's that one kid that wants to play for Tennessee. Maybe.
Yeah, that's just the unfortunate.
In a 100-mile radius.
It's only going to be somebody who grew up a Tennessee fan. That's it. So, I mean, they basically have hurt themselves.
And at that point, they're probably going to play baseball. But
probably.